Hey y'all, it's me, Cody. Welcome to the CodiKnits podcast, episode 20, I think. Whoa. So, my name is Cody. You can find me on Instagram as nurse_Cody, CODI, and you can find me on Ravelry as CodiKnits and on YouTube as CodiKnits Podcast. Um, So I'm using a different recording method today. It's my Surface Pro, and hopefully, I've never used it before. Hopefully, there's enough memory to do a podcast with it. I'm sitting outside today because it's very lovely. Great weather. It's like 70 degrees. This morning it was a little chilly, but let's see if I can show you some of the trees are turning a little bit. Well, a lot of the leaves are falling off, but they're not really. There's a little yellow to them, but this is my balcony. So I hope you can hear me. If not, I'll have to record this again. But anyway, so the lighting might not be great because the sun is setting. But it's so nice out that I had to be outside today, and it's been raining just for the past like 6 days, and it's supposed to start raining again on Saturday night. Oh, today is Friday, October 30th, I believe. So yeah, Diamond may make an appearance. She is wobbling around. She had her teeth cleaned today, and yeah, she's still a little drunk from that. So yeah. Anyway, first off, I wanted to say thank you all so very much for being so supportive of just my podcast and being so, just so wonderful. And I really do enjoy communicating and keeping in touch and talking with you guys about yarn and fun stuff like that. And you guys were so sweet about the music, the song that I sang. That was so sweet. You were all saying such really sweet things, and I really appreciate that. I will try to do some more singing for you. Maybe a Christmas song or something, or if you have something you'd like to hear me sing, you can send me a message or whatever. Few quick things about the podcast. First off, this is probably going to be the last one I do for a couple of weeks, because I only have I have 16 more days of stuff I have to do, and for school I have so much work to do. I gotta finish off my capstone project. I have a presentation seminar due on Tuesday. I have to do. It's got to be 2 hours long. Have a PowerPoint and all that stuff. And then I have a few more days of clinical I have to do. I have some more clinical paperwork I have to do. So yeah, I mean, technically our capstone stuff isn't due until December 4th, or a little bit before then. December 4th is when we actually present them capstone projects, but my group is finishing it as soon as possible, hopefully. But our goal is to finish it before or sometime around November 16th or 17th. That should be like the third Monday, because the week before, so I think it's like the 18th or something, I'm taking my mom on a much needed cruise for 5 days and getting out of here and relaxing. We got a good deal on it, and the cruise is just going to the Bahamas, but it'll be nice just to relax. And so I got to work hard these next couple of weeks and keep in mind that I have a good, fun trip planned afterwards, nice and relaxing. And then December 1st, I have my final due. in my pediatrics class, I have another paper due. I have some online modules I have to do as well. Um, so much stuff to do, but it's doable. I can do it. I just gotta sit down and do it. And yeah, and it's so close. December 5th is when I graduate, and I can't wait. So that's the first thing. So if you don't hear from me for a couple of weeks, that's why. I will try to podcast before I leave on for my cruise, but I might not be able to. So it might be after that. So it might be around Thanksgiving or like the weekend after Thanksgiving before you hear from me again on here. Of course, I'm staying pretty active on Instagram and Ravelry. If you need me or want to get in touch with me, message me on Instagram or Ravelry. I usually try to stay in touch pretty regularly there. But if you need me, if you send me a message on Instagram, I'll usually get that pretty quickly because it pops up on my phone. So, anyway. Yeah, so Diamond decided to make her way over. Oh, not you. It's okay. You want to say hello? Say hello, I know. Say hi to Bryony. Bryony loves you. Oh, there you go. So she wants to sit in my lap. And since she's kind of woozy, that's what she's going to do. When I picked her up from the vet, she couldn't even walk out. She had to carry her. And they were so nice. I love this vet. But he said, you know, I'm going to give you a bag of treats to take that. They're these special treats that they look like they're stale or whatever, but they're like kind of made kind of similar to how shredded wheat is, and it's good for cleaning their teeth, and it's because they have to bite down and chew it a lot. It's not just squishy and dissolves in their mouth. And he says it's not like a candy treat, so it's actually made to be a food, so she can't have too much of it. You know, you can give too many treats and she gets fat. Well, this is supposed to be food, so she'll still get nutrients. And obviously, if she's eating a ton of that, you give less food. But he said she could have 4 or 5 pieces of this a day. And I thought he was going to give me just a little Ziploc baggie kind of full. He gave me like a 5-pound bag of these things. It was included in the cleaning. And but she did good, and I'm really happy. I posted a picture on Instagram and Facebook of the before and after. And her breath smells so much better. She's got a little shaved spot on her arm where they gave her IV. But because if you don't know, they have to sedate them to clean their teeth or whatever. So that's why she's a little groggy. But she did good. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot of knitting to show you because I haven't... Well, I finished the test knit that I was doing, and I can't show you that yet. But I did finish that, and that was fun. I can't wait to show it off to you. I finished my new cowl design. Will be coming out hopefully in a few weeks. Actually, it'll probably be around Thanksgiving or after, because I want to give my test knitters a couple of weeks, and I'm going to be really busy. But and then there's some like decorative stuff on the pattern that I want to do, like adding picture and stuff. But it's called the Growing Flowers Cowl, and I finished the official version of mine. Here it is. I hope you can tell why it's called Growing Flowers. But the seed stitch down here, because flowers start as seeds, and you get your stem, and then it turns into the flower up here. And I love this. I mean, it's a little feminine for me to wear, but it definitely keep your neck warm. This one's the large size. I made two sizes, a smaller and a large. But this is the large size for people who like it to be more drapey. And yeah, so there's that. But you can fluff it up however you want. I think it'd be nice under your coat or whatever. But the smaller one is about like that. So it's a little more snug. I'm gonna make another one in that size, in green, I think. But I wanted to make the larger one so I knew how much yarn. And not everyone likes things up against their neck, but this is good. You can throw it on, and you know, it can keep your neck warm or whatever, but it's not choking you or anything like that. Now this yarn is beautiful. I know it's just oh, it's so soft. I know that it's just you want to get down? There you go. I'm moving around too much for her. I know that it's just like a cream color, but I did that for this one to kind of show off the stitches a little better for the actual picture, so you can kind of see more what you're getting. But the bigger one used about 200 yards, and the skein of yarn that I bought is this, and it came in 190. So basically it actually uses a little less than 200, but I just said 200 because I had to buy another one, and that one was 190, and I used a little bit, and basically I had to use the other for this, so it might have even been like 195, but 200 just in case. And obviously it's going to be less than that for the smaller version, but I give you numbers for both the large and the small, and it'll be easy to adjust it however. But anyway, the yarn, oh, I love this. It's just a cream color. I found it at my local yarn store. It's Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine, and it says superfine alpaca silk and wool, and that's exactly what it is. It's 100 grams or 197 yards, 40% alpaca, 40% wool, and 20% silk. Made in Peru. It is so soft. That's the color number is, uh-oh. There you go. It's a little better. I love this. And you know what? This was really, at the thing I was like, that's it? That's cheap. And she said, the lady corrected me, she said, that is not cheap yarn. It is economical. It is very economical. Especially for how soft and squishy, and it feels really good on your neck. And I knit this up the first one I did using an acrylic yarn. I don't remember if it was like Red Heart or some other brand like that, which is a fine acrylic, but it looks so much better in this than it did that. I mean, and I blocked it on using my Swift. I just put a towel over my Swift, and then, I open it, put a towel, put this on there and then I open the Swift just a little bit more so that it stays open, and there's that. Just be careful. I accidentally tightened my the little screw on your Swift too much, and now the thing is warped, so it won't tighten up. I had to rig it up to fix it. So don't over tighten it. I guess I'm strong or something. So that's that. So that's really the only thing I have really been working on other than schoolwork. However, So I wanted to try out some yarn from the Fondant Fiber from Deb because I've heard so much about it and how wonderful it is, especially like from the Bakery Bears podcast, K and M. They are always talking about it. So I went online and I bought some. Fondant Fiber Spangle Base Slick. It is beautiful. The colors are coming up actually pretty close. Ooh. It's got some sparkly in there. I don't know if I can make it sparkle for you. It's really cool. It's so soft. I can't wait to knit something with this. And the package was so beautiful. And that goes a long way with me. So something that people who cook a lot, like chefs, they say you eat with your eyes first, and I really enjoy the yarn. You really do enjoy it with your eyes first. So when you get a package, when you're giving someone something, or especially if they've bought it or paid for it, then if you present it to them in nice wrapping and nice packaging, it takes your product from it can take your product from like an 8 up to a 10 for me. But yeah, so that's that. So she gave me this and she threw in some surprises. A lot of surprises. I just can't get over how pretty it is. It's blues and a little red. It's got some greeny yellows up here, some purples. And look, she sent me this cute card. It says, "Thank you, Cody." And see that she personalized that, and that goes a long way with me. It included a stitch marker. It's really cute, and it says, "Thank you." I don't know if this knows how to, yeah, this doesn't really know how to focus. It's not that fancy. But that. And she sent me some yummy tea, which I've already drank. And look how cute this bag is. It's got a really nice zipper. So the inside stands up pretty good. Got the little tag. Cute little zipper pull. Oh, I just love this. So thank you so much, Deb. That is beautiful, and I really appreciate this. And she says she watches the podcast and she enjoys it. So hey, Deb, thank you again so much. You are amazing, and I just don't know what else to say except that you're amazing. And I was really shocked when she said that she even knew who I was, and said she watches the podcast. So another gift I got is this. I got a spindle, a drop spindle. So I'm still learning about this, and I'm definitely still learning how to use this thing. And I was gifted some of this fiber. And it doesn't look as pretty. Let me see. A whole bunch of it. Like all of this. Let me see if I can pull out one. Rolac, I believe these are called. Yes, Rolac. Some of you may be familiar with this. This stuff. Ooh, it's so soft. It smells good. So let me see if I can figure out what's in it. Sorry for the crinkling if you can hear that. This is beautiful. So it has Shetland, mm, Mason, Merino, linen, and bamboo. It is beautiful. So let's see. And where did it go? Here. I also got something else. One of you beautiful people sent me this. So this is stitch marker. It has my name on it. And this is another lobster claw that she attached. It's got a diamond. And diamond for diamond. But also, white diamond is my birthstone. So that's really perfect. She sent this other progress keeper. It's like a Chinese kind of design. Looks like a little bird carrying some twigs. And then she sent me these. Little puzzles, and look how cute. So the blue, and a green, pink, red, and purple. I love it. So, one other thing I wanted to talk about was, I forgot to talk about, I have a few of you guys who've expressed interest in, I'll show you more of this whenever I get better at it, because I'm clearly not good at it, and I felt really bad using this amazing stuff to practice with, but I couldn't resist. So thank you to the person, and they know who they are, that gifted this to me. I literally was sitting there speechless for like 30 minutes. With my mouth open like, I like cried a little too. But don't tell anybody that. It's just overwhelming how kind and generous, and you guys are just awesome. So, thank you. And what I was about to say about the Christmas ornaments. So some of you have said you wanted to participate and send me some stuff for my Christmas tree ornaments. I'm so excited because it's 2 months till Christmas. So someone posted a picture on Facebook, and it said there's 2 types of people during Christmas time, and one had Buddy the Elf, and one had somebody from something. They just looked miserable. I'm like Buddy the Elf. I love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving too because of the food. But yeah. So if you're interested in doing that, just send me a message on Ravelry, and we can exchange emails, and just knit something. It doesn't have to be big. It can be whatever you think of that reminds you of me. I don't really have a color theme for that tree or anything like that. Just be whatever, and I'll send you something if you want. If you don't want like an ornament, I can maybe gift you a pattern or something like that. Up to you. But one thing I got is, and I wanted to do a book review, and I've never really done this before, but I think I did on a knitting stitch book, but I never actually went through it with you. But I got 2 books. I got Custom Socks, Knit to Fit Your Feet, and I also got the Sock Architecture book. I will say that for what I wanted, which was for someone to show me how to make socks that fit my feet, or fit whoever's feet I want to knit them for perfectly, Custom Socks Knit to Fit Your Feet takes the cake. And this is by Kate Atherley. I know most of you are probably very familiar with it, but for those of you who might be new to sock knitting like me, you know that I've only knit 1 pair and they didn't fit. But this book is awesome. I mean, I sat down, I measured my feet. I know how many stitches I need to cast on to fit my feet. I know for my leg circumference, I know whether or not I need to add extra stitches for the gusset, if I need to decrease the gusset section. I know which toe will work best for my toe shape, and all that stuff. So, it starts off with an introduction, and this is a very well written book. So, I read a lot of textbooks and things like that, but I also read a lot of of like fiction novels and that kind of stuff, and a lot of the book things I'm reading like are teaching you how to do stuff, not for fun but for school. And she really writes in a manner that seems very conversational with you, which I appreciate because it makes it not boring. But she also puts it in words that are easy to understand. And then the vocabulary, she kind of teaches you what those things are. Like, what is a gusset? Because I didn't know what any of that stuff is. So in the book, she teaches you how to measure your foot at the right place to get the measurement that you're supposed to be getting. And then it teaches you like ratios, like your how your like foot circumference and your ankle circumference, how they should be balanced to know whether or not you need to like make adjustments to your knitting so that it fits right. I'm trying to say it without giving it away. She does give you some charts in here that kind of tell you about foot lengths and stuff like that based on shoe size. And what's really cool about her being, she did the research on this herself, and as best she could to gather the data. And being a science person, I really appreciate that because I really know how long it takes to collect data like that, synthesize it, and analyze it, and put it in a format that people can understand and also that it's usable. She does a really good job. Let's see what else is in here. She goes in and talks in the next chapter about yarn and like which yarns are best for socks, as far as not only like what it's made of, but how the fibers are spun together and things like that, which is really interesting. And she goes through and talks to you about the different ways to knit, toe up, cuff down, whether you want to use DPNs, magic loop, etc. And of course she talks about swatching. And then she goes over like what's the basics of a sock pattern. What are you gonna see whenever you get a sock pattern? What are the elements in there that you're gonna look for, or that you're gonna find out? What do those mean? How do you figure out if that's gonna fit your foot or not? How do you adjust it so that it can fit your foot? And that's what is really cool to me. And of course she goes into, how different bind on and cast offs. And she has different patterns in here that you can knit as well. Some really pretty ones. Like basic ribbed sock. She has some basic, and then she goes some that are a little more not so basic. Like these. Kind of lacy socks. She even goes into how to read a chart for the patterns. Little chipmunks playing in the grass down there. But anyway, I really like this book. I found it very helpful. I can't wait to knit another pair of socks. I'm waiting to cast on for something I'm expecting in the mail, which is why I really didn't want to buy this yarn, but I really wanted to finish my cowl, so I did buy it, and it was only, I don't remember if I told you, but this, the alpaca silk, and whatever else was in it that I said. Uh-oh. I don't know what I did with it, but I'm going to put it in here probably. Alpaca, wool, and silk. This was $15. $15. And it's single ply. You all know, well, you might not, but I love knitting with single ply yarn like this. It feels more woolly to me or something, I don't know. But I like it. So yeah, school's crazy. I can't wait to go on vacation. The sun is bright in my eye. I hope you can see this. I hope you can hear. But I have not done any other knitting. I do plan on finishing, well, hopefully I can finish in these couple weeks. I can finish my mom's shawl before we go to the Bahamas. Just so she can have it if her arms get cold at the dinner or something. I don't know. If not, then she can have it for Christmas. And then my sock blanket, I added a couple more squares, but it's a sock blanket, y'all know. Memory blanket, whatever. Scrap yarn blanket. Sarah Hepworth now has, what, 500? She's a beast. Who else was I wanting to mention, talk about? I was going to talk about some more, and I just forgot. I should have wrote show notes. I'll talk about them next time. Let's see, is there anything I was going to talk about for Nurse Cody section? Nurse Cody. I mean, wash your hands, people. I know that sounds silly, but that's the most important way you can protect yourself. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. So I saw this thing on Facebook, and it was talking about, this lady was like, you can protect yourself for less than $3 for a whole, and what she was saying is that you could get like triple antibiotic ointment that you put on a cut. She's saying put it under your nose here, and that'll protect you from getting the flu and colds and other bugs. Well, no, it doesn't work like that. The first reason is because it just doesn't work like that. The second reason is because the flu and cold is a virus, and antibacterial bactericidal kill bacteria. You can develop a bacteria infection after having a upper respiratory infection, which is normally caused by a virus. It can develop because, like, in your ears, like if you have a virus and you have all this drainage, and then your ears don't drain properly the way they're supposed to, and you have all that stuff sitting around in there, it can pool up, and then it can grow a bacteria. But just don't do that. It's gonna be, you're gonna, it just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It's antibacterial ointment isn't going to prevent the flu. The best thing you can do to prevent the flu is get the flu vaccine. And I know there's a lot of controversy. Some people say every time I get the flu vaccine, I get the flu. And if that's your experience, that's your experience, and there's nothing anyone can do to talk you out of that. But technically, a flu vaccine is a dead virus unless you get the nasal spray. The nasal spray vaccine is a live virus. So if you're around people who are immunocompromised, especially if your children are going to be around them, so people who are undergoing chemo or something else like that, you need to make them get the shot. But what they do is how they determine what flu. Some people say they base it on the flu strand from last year. I think more of it is so diseases kind of have a certain way they spread geographically, and the flu is one of those things is kind of worldwide, and I guess they figured out that the flu usually starts over in Asia and then works its way around here to us, in the United States in this time of year, the November, December time frame. So what they do is they see what strand of the virus is most rampant over there, and they try to make the vaccine to cover that virus. It usually has a couple of strains in there, and then viruses are really smart and they mutate and change. They're like, oh, well, I remember last year I got some of this, so I remember this antibody, so I'm going to make this around me, so it just bounces off of me. It doesn't affect me. They're smart little critters. But that's what they do, and it's really hard, but the best thing you can do to protect yourself is get the flu vaccine. I got my flu vaccine 3 weeks ago. I haven't had the flu. I've had a cold, but I haven't had the flu. Totally different. Let's see. Oh, and washing your hands. Just good hand hygiene. Wash your hands. The hand sanitizers are good, but you also want to wash your hands with warm soapy water. You want to avoid being around people who have the flu or who might be having the flu if you can. It's not always possible, especially if it's your own little ones. But yeah, washing your hands and getting the vaccine is the two biggest things that you can do to protect yourself from getting the flu. But anyway, that's that. I'll try to come up with something else for next time, but I think I'm going to go. It's about 39 minutes, 40 minutes, a little shorter than usual, but I didn't have a lot of knitting to show you. But I did want to come and say hello real quick, and because I've missed you, and I had some wonderful stuff to show off, and I can't wait to use it more. Unfortunately, I probably won't get to play with my spindle a whole lot until December or Thanksgiving break. But who knows? Anyway, hope you're all having a wonderful day. I hope you're staying well. I hope that you are having lots of times to knit and sew and crochet and do your favorite hobby, crafting, whatever it might be. Say a little prayer for Miss Jan, because if you haven't seen it, Buster had to be put to sleep, and she's very sad, and We all loved Buster's little appearances on the her little podcast. So I know her heart's broken. It's really hard. So say a little prayer for her. Keep her in your thoughts or whatever you do to send her good, happy feelings. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Remember, do things one stitch at a time. That's how you get through that pattern that you don't know how to figure out. And ooh, before I forget, speaking of patterns I can't figure out, when I went to buy that yarn, I asked the lady at my local yarn shop to help me with that baby sweater. That's going to be getting finished hopefully soon. It's going to be getting picked up. I know what to do now. And it wasn't me, it was the pattern. So I feel better about that. But anyway, one stitch at a time. That's how you get through those patterns. And that's also how you get through your days. Okay?